Hello and welcome to Topical Top 10s here on the Football 365 show. I'm your host Mark Smith. I'm here with Matt Stead, Deputy Editor of Football365.com. Now Patrick Bamford, surprisingly, is a hat-trick goalscorer. He's officially a Premier League hat-trick goalscorer. And with that in mind, Matt Stead, what is our top 10 this week, please?
Our top 10 this week, funnily enough, is the most surprising Premier League hat-trick goalscorers.
Yes, the top 10 most surprising Premier League hat-trick goalscorers. Now, there's a lot of names on this list that I honestly hadn't even heard or contemplated for years and years. You've thrown out some real curveballs here, Matt.
Absolutely, yeah. We'll see how this goes.
Trying to keep us on our toes, are you? Yeah, there's some names in there. It's like the names I sort of vaguely recognise. It's like the kid who joined your school in year 10. You'd recognise the name, but you didn't know him. It's that. That's what it felt like throughout.
Right.
So let's get into the show. If you enjoy the show, don't forget to like and subscribe and press the notification bell so you don't miss a show going forward. This is Topical Top 10s here on the Football 365 show. Right, Matt, at number 10, you've got Wijnaldum.
We do. Georginio Wijnaldum, who he scored 4 goals, in fact, for Newcastle against Norwich in a game in 2015. Yep. It was a game notable as well for the fact that Moussa Sissoko got a hat-trick of assists. I was so surprised by that, I forgot even how to say his name there.
Well, that could be next week's top 10, could it? Most surprising hat-trick of assists.
Yeah, that could be a difficult one to research, but we've got number 1 at least with Sissoko.
Yeah. But Wijnaldum's someone who he's quietly one of those players, though, isn't he? He does pop up with the odd goal, and he has got huge games in him. So maybe that's not that surprising, this one.
Yeah, I mean, with Newcastle as well, they deployed him a bit differently to how Liverpool have, and he has shown for Liverpool against Barcelona in particular. He scored a couple of headers, obviously, in that Champions League semi-final. This game against Norwich, he scored 2 very similar headers as well. So, yeah, he's got that knack in him. I think he did the same thing in Eredivisie as well.
He reminds me actually of a little bit of Tim Cahill in the way that he gets into the box when he's playing that more attacking role. And interestingly, Tim Cahill is a player who never scored a Premier League hat-trick. So 1-0 Wijnaldum, 3-0 Wijnaldum. Right, number 9, Matt, we've got Kevin Lisbie.
Yeah, Kevin Lisbie, we've gone from a current Liverpool player to a player who scored a Premier League hat-trick against Liverpool. Lisbie, his highest goal-scoring Premier League season, he got 5 goals. And in this game, obviously, as you can figure out, he scored 3 goals.
3 of them.
Absolutely incredible.
Yeah. So 60% of his goals came from this one game.
Yeah, pretty much. And obviously this was less than 2 years, before Liverpool became European champions. So it's a very, very strange signpost on their journey there.
Kevin Lisbie's a strange one because whenever I watched him play, I always thought he looked like a really good player, and it never really kicked on, did he? So the fact that he's in this list, I hate to say this, is this his crowning achievement?
He's a very busy striker, wasn't he? Yeah, we've spoken before about non-scoring strikers.
Busy.
I think he was definitely one of them.
Don't call him busy. That's an absolute slam to a striker.
Sorry,
busy. Sorry, Kevin. Number 8, we've got Dindane.
Aruna Dindane, yes, Portsmouth legend who he scored a hat-trick against Wigan in 2009. The season Portsmouth went down, actually, and it was their first win of the season. And some people, mainly me, have kind of described it as one of the most complete Premier League performances ever. So he got a hat-trick and an assist, which it's absolutely remarkable stuff.
Was it a perfect hat-trick? Right, left, head?
I don't believe so, no. He scored a penalty.
Not interested.
Yeah, he scored a penalty, sadly, to round it off as well, which I think takes something away from a hat-trick, but...
It does a little bit, but they still count. Just ask Man United fans this season. Number 7, we've got the man himself, the inspiration for this entire list, Patrick Bamford.
Patrick Bamford, yeah, it was a very nice hat-trick against Villa, wasn't it? The second and third goals in particular, absolutely delightful.
What do we make of this though? Because he was someone that when he was in the Championship, and I saw a lot of him in the Championship. He played for Derby for a season. Seen a lot of him over the years. Always was busy, had that Kevin Lisbie business going on.
Yeah.
And it was a good player. He was always a good player. Worked hard, brought players into the game. Under Bielsa, he seems to have stepped up to a new level entirely, particularly now he's in the Premier League. How has this happened and why is it happening?
It's a good question, really. I don't think he's changed much in terms of how he's playing. Obviously, last season there was that question over his conversion rate, but Bielsa was trusting him every week. He was still playing regularly. It was just the chances he wasn't scoring. And this season, maybe he feels like he's got a point to prove, maybe. So he's...
I think he must have.
He's on a very good streak, definitely, at the minute.
He is, yeah. I mean, talks about him getting a call up for the England squad. I think that might be a bit of a stretch still. But this shows what can happen when a footballer has the absolute trust of a top level manager, doesn't it? I mean, he must feel like he's 7 feet tall walking out there.
Well, he's got the right system around him. He's got, like you say, the right manager. He's got teammates he'll work for them and they'll work for him. So he's at the right place now. I think he's found it eventually.
Yeah, I agree. Number 6, and this could have been higher on the list, actually, Matt. We've got Steve Watson, ex-Everton and Newcastle fullback, popping up with a hat-trick here.
Yeah, it could be really the closest we've ever come to a defender scoring a Premier League hat-trick. He was played more as a midfielder for Everton against Leeds in this game, and it was actually a really, really nice hat-trick. There was one goal. They were all against Paul Robinson, who's got a bit of a knack of conceding hat-tricks, I think.
Yeah,
but one of them, he lobbed Robinson, I think for his hat-trick goal, he lobbed Robinson from a tight angle from about 10 yards. The other goal, Robinson had straight off his line, scored from about 25 yards. So that's Steve Watson, one of the great entertainers, obviously, at Newcastle, bringing it to Everton.
Yeah, I loved him as a player. I thought he was a great player.
Absolutely,
I think he could have...
Yeah, he scored the first ever Premier League hat-trick under David Moyes as well, which is quite the accolade.
Wow. Get that on your gravestone. Perfect.
Right.
Number 5, Gerard Deulofeu.
Deulofeu, yeah, he's one of the more recent ones. Scored a hat-trick for Watford against Cardiff last year when Cardiff went down.
Sorry, how are you putting Deulofeu above Watson for most surprising?
I don't know, because Deulofeu... I mean, I've probably messed up, let's be honest, Mark. That's the most likely outcome here. But for me, okay, Deulofeu, I just never, and to be fair, Watson's the same, but for Deulofeu, I just never associated him with scoring goals. He's just...
No, that's fair.
Yeah, he's just not really that kind of player. But then again, Steve Watson is Steve Watson. He's not exactly Thierry Henry.
When was Deulofeu's hat-trick?
Deulofeu's hat-trick was 2019, last year. So the 2018-19 season, but 2 of the goals against Cardiff. I mean, I think I could probably score a hat-trick against Neil Warnock's Cardiff.
Get them off this list then. I'm not interested. It's not perfect. Don't want to know. Get out of it.
Yeah, 2 of his goals.
Number 4.
Oh, sorry, go on.
No, Matt, you've let yourself down, mate. We're moving on. Number 4, Bobic.
Fredi Bobic,
Fredi Bobic?
yeah. Fredi Bobic, yes. He scored 4 Premier League goals in his entire career. 3 of them came in one game. It was very much kind of...
That's 75% hat-trick rate, that is. I'm doing the percentages as we go this time.
Very, very good maths there, Mark. Very good.
Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah, so he kept bolting up this season, basically. He started the season on Dortmund's books. He played a couple of Champions League games against Liverpool, actually, this season. And then he joined Bolton, Sam Allardyce's Bolton, on loan in January. And he essentially kept them up. This hat-trick came against Ipswich, and it's kind of sent them down in the same way that it kept Bolton up, really.
Yeah, I mean, Allardyce, we've probably talked about this on the show before, but Allardyce gets a lot of stick from people who are quite revisionist, who say that he's he's a dinosaur, he's just an old school manager, doesn't know what he's doing. But actually, he was at the forefront of technology in football, things like Prozone, and also bringing players in from abroad. It wasn't that often you saw that happen in this league, where you have a smaller club, no disrespect to Bolton, a smaller club bringing in high-profile players from the continent.
No, that Bolton team was sensational, wasn't it? You've got kind of you go through all the years. You've got Kocher there, Hierro there, Djorkaeff. Yeah, he kind of
Campo.
Allardyce kind of carved out a niche for himself as this kind of forward-thinking manager, obviously with the headset in the stands and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Number 3, Andy Sinton.
Andy Sinton, yeah. What can you say about Andy Sinton, Mark?
Number 2, we have got Gomez. Which Gomez is this?
This is Jordi Gomez.
Jordi Gomez, okay.
The second Spaniard to ever score a Premier League hat-trick, for Wigan against Reading. Can you name the first Spaniard to score a Premier League hat-trick?
I cannot. Now, who was it?
Oh, it's Fernando Torres, Mark, obviously.
How was it? It took that long, did it?
Yeah, it did. I think
very
it was 2008, and then Gomez came along. Obviously, they've got a few recent ones. Ayuso Perez, I think, was the most recent Spanish hat-trick goal scorer.
Yeah, but Jordi Gomez, actually, you're right to have him on the list. Lovely technician, Jordi Gomez, but not really a goal scorer. Not
particularly, no. Like you say, I think he probably summed up a lot of that Wigan reign for Roberto Martinez, where they were all very nice on the ball, excellent technique, but there was not too much of a defensive work ethic to them, I think.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, right, number 1, and This is a name I hadn't heard for a long time, and I think actually some viewers may never have heard. But number one for most surprising Premier League hat-trick scorers is Somen Tchoyi.
It is. It's a name pretty much exclusively...
Somen Tchoyi, yes.
Exclusively known just for these lists, basically. He doesn't exist outside of any other context but surprising Premier League hat-trick goal scorers.
Yeah, exactly. He deserves to be there. I mean, so his name is Tchoyi. He scored 3 goals for West Brom away at Newcastle. They were 3-0 down in that game as well. And I know this because the West Brom fans refer to him as Tchoyi Story 3.
They do.
The direct result of his name being Tchoyi and the 3 goals.
It's beautiful.
And if that's not deserving of a number one spot on our list, I don't know what is. Anything else to add on Somen Tchoyi there, Matt?
His third goal was a diving header, which it's a dying art. Should be brought back.
Well, I mean, Jamie Vardy scored one at the weekend, so it is so topical, this show, that we are interweaving different storylines all the time, always thinking. I like that.
Inspired by Somen Tchoyi, Jamie Vardy.
That's it. Right, lovely. Thank you, Matt Stead, for being here with me today. Thank you guys at home for watching. If you enjoyed the show, you can like and subscribe to all that sort of stuff. But you can also get in touch with the show. You can email the editor at football365.com. We'll be back, same time, same place next week with another topical top 10.